March 20th. In my stream, boys are snoring. It's a good excuse to come spend a couple nights here because there's a pipe issue in our condo and they had to cut out my wall and be there at least 3 days, and it's hard to do with a dog that doesn't like people coming into our apartment, especially after Keith has passed. So I'm back in the stream in my friend's driveway. So yesterday marked 15 weeks, and I came to the conclusion that I really need to plan to do stuff on Sunday afternoons at 2 o'clock, which is when he died. Sundays were so special with us. I mean, well, even before him, even when I had my kids, Sunday was a fun day, relaxation day, no chores. They might have thought it was chores because we went to church every Sunday. But it was always, once I was with Keith, he was just fervently like, Sunday's got to be our play day. Walk around town, go get a brew. And then he dies on me on a Sunday. It's hard. So yesterday I went out with some girlfriends and heard a band, and I was like, this is good. Just get me out. There's time to be alone because I certainly have enough time at that. But I'm going to make a concerted effort to leave my place on Monday, go do something different, go do something fun. But God, today, I came out here and I was just looking at my projects here and how I want to, freshen up this place. It might help my mood, and it's all things that we talked about doing, but I knew he would love it when it was done, but maybe complain while I was like, hey, what do you think about this sample? And what do you think about this wallpaper? And, I'd want to include him in everything, but then he'd say, I don't really care, honey, whatever you want to do. But then he would say, he would get really upset if I did something without him and he wanted to be all in. So sometimes it was a little hard navigating which way to go. But, oh, God. So today I was just looking at fabric samples and I looked around and just the reality hit me like, this is your home. This is whatever you want to do. You don't have to go as conservative with the wallpaper as you normally would because you're not as conservative. Well, aesthetically, sometimes I felt like I was a bit more conservative. Some of his thoughts, but conservative doesn't have to be a bad word. So I cried and I cried. But I did some positive things today. I signed up for a pet walk with the SPCA in April. And I signed up for Friends of Strays to go clean doggy kennels at the shelter. I don't smell, so I think I'm probably the best candidate for that job. Or whatever they need me to do, but they need kitty cuddlers. I could be a kitty cuddler. So I submitted the application for that. But I really do realize the need for my one-on-one counseling, and so I spent hours reading reviews of counselors, some with my insurance, which was very limited, and some without. Most without. Because I know I need it. I know now that my son loss group is done, my other one will be completed in 2 weeks. I really need one-on-one counseling to get through the trauma. That's what's really haunting me right now, the trauma of his death in such a short, sudden time. And even his mom being with her when she died on July 10th. The magnitude of dealing with my mother-in-law and my beloved husband's death the same year as with them both is really making me not sleep. So anyway, I was doing all this research for these counselors, and like I said, there was very few in my insurance, and I left a message, and the review said, she's great, but she's got a wait list, and she'll keep you, apprised of blah blah blah. She was downtown St. Pete. I mean, there was another counselor. It was really good in Clearwater and one in Tampa, but I just don't like driving. But anyway, it was like within 2 hours, 3 hours, she called me back. She was so cool, and she's like, I have a wait list, but ethically, I try to do the right thing, and I just really feel like you need this. I don't know, maybe the message I gave her. I think that was a God thing, I guess. She was so great. So I have an appointment next Tuesday. So I jumped the list on her wait list. I mean, it was like I was being picked for like American Idol. It was like, I'd like to grant you an appointment. I mean, therapists are really hard to find, especially those that are specialize in, I mean, I did all this shopping and today and researching, and most of these therapists were like my kids' age, and I'm sorry. I love that they're doing that for their career, and they can talk to Gen Xers and millennials and Gen Zs and all that, but I don't know. Do they really know what grief's all about? I mean, there's some of my friends that don't know what grief's all about. Family members that really don't know what grief's about. But that's not true. I think all my family members know what grief's about. Not a spouse. So anyway, and then I also booked an appointment with finally the head of my law firm to questions about making sure I'm doing the right things for my family and redoing all my will and stuff, and grandkids and kids, stepkids, and what would Keith want me to do? We talked about this so much. I think abnormally so compared to most couples. We really, me dealing with my best friend Donald's death and Keith with his wife Jackie, it's like we knew what sorrow was all about, and the things you had to do. We talked about this, but everything I do, I always say, honey, what do you want me to do? So here I am, just in this, my favorite place, our bed and our Airstream. So I picked out some wallpaper. I'm going to do on the door. It's peel and stick, so it's not a huge commitment. And I'm going to shop for fabric. And I'm excited to move this over on May 1st-ish for the summer and the fall to Sebastian. I can't wait to live in it again. I'll be back to the condo, but the condo is really just weighing on me again. This is the week that we were supposed to leave. This week or the beginning of next week. To head to Vegas and then head to our Pacific Northwest trip. So that was a cool thing, We were to do all last year, and I I think I had 17 campgrounds booked, and then was so devastated when we had to cancel. And then I rebooked it this past fall and had to cancel it again. So I really want to believe in me. I really want to believe in me that I can do that trip without him. That's going to be hard. I'm scared. So scared. Oh, man. Why did it time? Why did it time? Why did it? But let it go on record today. I had some major accomplishments. But I'm so sad. God, I hope he felt an ounce of how much I loved him. He needed so much affirmation. Oh, man. I don't know. This whole thing about looking down, I don't think that's really the ticket. But if so, honey, you were loved. I don't think you ever doubted it with me. I don't think you ever doubted it with me. Except maybe when I was on the cruise and I didn't pick up your phone call. Because I was out at sea. Oh, you weren't happy with me. Oh, shoot, you weren't happy with me. I love you, baby. I'm just trying to do the right thing. Oh, this healing process sucks. But I'm in my happy place. There it is. There it is. Thank you for giving me this life.